Yo, what's the word? What's the word, man? Plausible deniability, man. I'm back again at y'all. Like always, man, I want to start off by saying I appreciate all the support I've been getting. Everybody been reaching out to me, letting me know what content they do like, what content they don't like, what they want more of. Again, I'm here for all of that, you feel me? So I appreciate all the feedback I've been getting, positive and not so positive, you feel me? Definitely, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man. This is definitely an episode. Um, if you into the convenience lifestyle, if you into having things fast right now when you want it type of thing, and not really looking into the background of how you get things fast and convenient, you probably not gonna like this episode. If you a big fast food eater, if you feeding fast food to your kids, you might not like this episode. But again, I'm kind of hoping that this is just open your eyes on some things. You feel me? Everything being said is really not my opinion. I'm gonna just show y'all what I come up with, from across the internet, which is most of my episodes. You feel me? But, so man, my teenage years, man, I had two of my closest friends. You feel me? To this day. They from Detroit, you feel me? Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to the whole Michigan, you feel me? But yeah, two of my closest friends, man, I remember we was teens, before we had, you feel me, driver's license or permit, anything like that. You were kinda secluded to the restaurants and things like that in your neighborhood, you know what I mean? And the area we lived in, the only real restaurant that it was kind of in walking distance for us, biking distance really, was of course McDonald's, right? So everything, we about to go over in this episode, this is coming from somebody who I've eaten countless McChickens. That was, you feel me, that was the move back in the day. You go get a McChicken and a medium fry, and you probably wouldn't even spend $5. Back in the day, we go to McDonald's. We go to the same McDonald's every single day, fam. We get out of school, and that'll be the thing to do. And it was a video game store next door to the McDonald's, right? So it was like, man, I wasn't worried about doing no homework, doing no chores, no none of that, right? Like, I'm getting out of school, we get out the bus, we walking. It'll be like a almost 15-minute walk to this McDonald's in our area. Go get like 2 McChickens, large fry, a drink. And then we in a video game store, playing all the newest video games with the employees in there till it get dark outside, Uh, that was a very large part of my adolescence, right? So fast forward, me and another one of the homies, I want to say maybe about a year ago, me and bro always been active. I know he used to hoop. And me personally, I ran track in school. I was always like super active, played a lot of football, you know what I mean, that type of stuff. But man, me and a homie like a year ago, both of us kind of got on the same tip, like, man, let's go ahead, get back in the gym. Dude's getting older. I know we both had like really physically demanding jobs. So it was kind of, but we both luckily was on schedules where it kind of matched up with like late at night. We both was getting off around the same time. Everything would be closed. There's not a whole lot of traffic, that type of thing. So me and bro, we'll slide to the gym. We both got memberships at the same gym, kind of around the same time, maybe about a year ago. And really still to this point, it's most days out the week, you know, me and bro both definitely at the gym, if not working out at the crib. So back around this time when me and my guy, we both got these gym memberships, right? It was like same thing. We came to a conclusion around the same time that we'll be leaving the gym, like let's say 11 p.m. close to midnight, right around midnight. And I've noticed for a while now, the only food spot that will be open kind of late at night is fast food. Is McDonald's. Depending on the area that you live in, it's McDonald's and White Castle. You know, you might be lucky enough to have something a step above, you know, a wing stop in your area, something like that they open till around midnight usually. You know what I mean? Man, but for the longest time, like I keep it real with you, I haven't had White Castle, anything from a White Castle, in gotta be over a decade. You know what I mean? And I can't tell you what it is. You know what I mean? It's just something in me that let me know that that's not, you know, that's not good for me. You feel me? That's not the thing to be eating. Like at a certain point, way back in the day, I was able to come to the understanding. You know, I'd rather go hungry than eat a burger from White Castle. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. And again, this whole episode is not to you know, talk down on nobody, anything like that. Again, I'm kind of trying to share with y'all my the understandings I've come to over the years, you know, things that I've had experiences. So me and bro, you know, about a year back, we both like fully active in the fitness lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's like we spending every day at the gym. It don't matter how stressful the day at work was. You putting in a 10-12 hour shift. But you know, we was fully motivated, going to the gym every night, you know. And I gotta say I appreciate bro a lot, because it was kind of like that that the motivation went both ways, you know what I mean? It would be days I know he probably didn't want to go, and I'd be hitting him up like, nah man, come on, let's just go ahead and knock this out, and vice versa. You know, it was a lot of days, different struggles I'm going through where I really wasn't feeling the gym, you know what I mean? And he definitely went out of his way, you know, a lot of occasions, just to go ahead and get me out the house, you know what I mean? And we'll link up at the gym, and again, we put in work, you know, 2-hour gym session, again, no matter how stressful the day was. So I could definitely say it's been major benefits to that. And again, we both dudes coming from an active lifestyle already, but I could see the major benefits to living, you know, a consistently healthy lifestyle, going further into adulthood. But it's just crazy, you know, we was coming to, yet again, similar conclusion about McDonald's. You know, we joke and laugh and had conversations about, you know, how back in the day we both ate a gang of McDonald's. So it's kind of just at a certain point, you know, from a kid, it's ingrained in you, right? That's just the go-to. I still vividly remember, as a kid, I can't tell you what age, maybe like let's say elementary school age, you know what I mean? I had a birthday party at McDonald's, at Play Place and McDonald's, you feel me? And I still remember my elementary school crush showing up to my birthday with a bunch of my other friends and family members, cousins, at Play Place and McDonald's. So this show you, you know, kind of how far back it goes with you know, from a child, McDonald's becomes a part of your life. You know what I mean? And I say really a lot of different fast food places. You know, whatever kind of your family is in the area of, or what's in the area of your family, and Kind of what's a quick and convenient go-to, you know what I mean? That's why they call it fast food, you feel me? It's microwave, it's quick. So me and bro, we'll be going to the gym and then we leave and it's like, you wanna get at least a filling meal after you just put in 14, 15 hours worth of physical labor for the day, you know what I mean? Telling you, like, maybe a month or two went by when me and bro was talking about it, where the only thing that'll be open, we'll leave the gym, go our separate ways or whatever. And it's like we both noticing around the same time. I'm trying to stop on the way home, grab something to eat, grab something that's gonna fill me up for the night. Only thing that'll be open is McDonald's. Bro noticing the same thing kind of around the same time, right? So I then started noticing, and we all understand the changes that's been made to the world over the last few years, right? I noticed that, and you guys, hit me up in the comments, let me know how y'all feel, man. I started noticing a lot of the McDonald's that are 24 hours that stay open, or the ones that at least stay open past midnight. Hey man, once it's dark outside, once it's past like 9, 10 p.m. and a lot of other restaurants be closed up, especially like other sit down restaurants, that type of thing, the line for McDonald's would be ridiculously long. And it's like I'm not really paying too much attention because, again, at the time I'm still eating it, and it kind of got to the point where it's like, man, it's like every night I'm getting off work, I'm going to the gym, I'm meeting bro there, we both leaving. Only thing that's open in both directions that we going in is McDonald's. And it's like I'm spending increasingly longer amounts of time. Both of us are noticing, we'll leave the gym, end up on the phone with each other. And it's like, man, you ain't made it to the crib yet? Nah, I ain't made it. You made it yet? Neither. Nah, I'm sitting in line at McDonald's. I'm in line trying to get me, man. I was crushing McDoubles, right? That was my go-to. McDouble, no cheese, right? And then I noticed, they had the little combo. I think it was like a McDouble or a fry and a nugget or something like that. You know what I mean? Little 4-piece nugget or something like that, for semi-reasonable price. Again, that's in the last year. And so I'm noticing, this is I could say at a certain point I had an addiction just to that meal right there. I wouldn't even really go to McDonald's any other time throughout the day, because it's better options around. But I'm leaving the gym and it's nothing else open on my ride home from the gym. I'm noticing I'm sitting in line at this McDonald's for like going on 15 minutes every night. I'm noticing how on the weekends, again, I'm leaving the gym. I'm purposely passing by the McDonald's that's on my way home from the gym and going in like 2 different directions, 2 different towns over, trying to find a McDonald's that doesn't have 15 or 20 cars already in the line. And I'm wondering why that is. Just to get to the window, you pay at the first window, then you wait in another, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes to get to the second window just to get your food, get all the way home and realize, man, they done messed your order up. And me personally, I've worked a lot of food service jobs. You feel me? I've worked some of the lowest of the low to some fine dining restaurants. You feel me? So I definitely say, and I've worked every position in a restaurant. You feel me? From a dishwasher to management. So I could say I have a very deep understanding and respect for people who actually, work in food service and put their all into it. You know what I mean? Me personally, I do a lot of cooking just in my personal life. You know what I mean? And I've always had a certain just a certain standard, a certain quality, you know, it and really that's just kind of how I was raised, how I was trained really at some food service jobs that I've had like way back in the day. Some of my first couple jobs, it's like, man, if you wouldn't eat it, don't serve it. So that's, you know, a whole nother subject. Is something that I feel like it's definitely not enough. So at a certain point, you feel me, you know, me and bro having more and more conversation about again the current world that we living in. I'm also putting two and two together at the same time that hey fam, it was the same thing with Walmart, you know, before the whole last few years. I done spent a lot of times in Walmart throughout my life, right? You know, and again, it's convenient, it's quick, it's a go-to. You can go get cold medicine, video games, and you know, ground beef, chicken breast, whatever you plan on cooking, you know. So I noticed over maybe the last 2 years now, and again, you all let me know if it's the same way kind of in your area. Okay, Walmart is no longer 24 hours. Okay, cool. And I understood it when they rolled out what they rolled out, you know, a few years back. I mean, you would think at this point, you know, they would have gone back to being 24 hours. And this is an entirely different subject, but I kind of just want to put this out there and make you think a little bit. And again, as I always tell y'all, let me know if I'm bugging on it. Walmart is no longer 24 hours. Most other grocery stores, if they were 24 hours, they're not, and they still have like decreased hours at this point. And just when you think about the way that they push like the consumerism on you and the way that our society is run, and it's like, man, you can't argue with business because that's capitalism, and that's the best way to do things. It's capitalism, right? The business don't have feelings. It's about money. It's about the bottom line. We got profit margins. We got stakeholders. We got whatever, you know, people that we got to please that may not necessarily be you. And the word for that is a conflict of interest. But again, that's another subject. But I just want y'all to think about how much money it costs times the amount of locations that just a store like Walmart has. How much money does it cost to keep the lights on and the heat going and people on the clock for 24 hours, but now they're only making money from, let's say, 6 in the morning to like a 10 p.m., 11 p.m. How feasible is that, and what kind of sense does it make with your personal understanding of the capitalist society that we currently live in? And again, at this point, it's 2024, so we a few years off of that thing that happened back in the day. Why a lot of places, you know, a lot of grocery stores, a lot of places that'll give you different late night food options, you know, why they cut their hours. So I don't know. I've been wondering for like the last year, like a solid year at this point, what sense does it make? It's even some closed Walmarts in my area, right, that are shut down, and it's like the reason they always give for the shutdown is theft. Oh, so many people stealing, we can't afford to stay open in this area. Again, a whole nother topic, right? But I passed by them, you know, some that's closed like over a year ago now, and I'm like, man, they still got the lights on in this big old building. Who's paying for that? Like, how much does that cost? It doesn't seem like a good business move, in my opinion. But deeper than that, it's like for my third shift workers out there, right? I've worked a lot of warehouse and a lot of different jobs that again have been third shift, right? Fam, when you get off work or even just when you on your lunch break, if you in a job that lets you, leave the facility and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, where do you get food? If you don't have a home cooked meal that you bring into the job with you, where are you getting food at? At one point I worked at this spot at this warehouse, right? Uh, with an uncle of mine, man. Shout out to my Uncle Jay, right? Me and my Uncle Jay working at this warehouse, man, and we putting in 12-hour shifts at this warehouse. Um, and it was like it was purposely set up. Huge warehouse. Maybe like 70, 80 different docks. So depending on where you working at for the night, you might be all the way on the opposite end from the entrance of this warehouse. Uh, the lunchroom, the little tiny lunchroom, and it's maybe like 1,000 people working in this warehouse, maybe more than that. We'll say give or take 1,000. The lunchroom had 2 microwaves in it, fam. The whole warehouse shut down at the same time every night. Everybody go on break at the same time. You get a 30-minute break. If you're working in the back of the warehouse, it take you roughly 10 to 12 minutes to walk to the lunchroom. It's 2 microwaves and 1 refrigerator in the lunchroom for your lunch if you bringing it from home. I want y'all to just think about that. You know what I mean? Think about the logistics of that. So again, I come from jobs like that, situations like that, and I'm noticing again, I'm working late at night, getting off work. Definitely over the last few years, I'm noticing everything is closed. Any place where you can go get like a salad or something like that that's not processed meat, man, that's closed. Like 9, 10 p.m. it's over with, right? Only thing that's open is McDonald's. So over the last year or so, man, I just started doing a little bit of research, you know what I mean? Because at a certain point I had to say, man, and it's funny, again, me and bro, that my gym partner, we both kind of came to the conclusion at the same time, man. I can't keep messing with the McDonald's, bro, and especially late at night. You waking up sluggish. I am going back at different times, like throughout the day, and not to get food, but I used to crush the frappes from there, right? Man, it's no good. It's no bueno. So yeah, we finna. I just want to give y'all a little bit of background on how I started coming to some of the conclusions that I'm coming to. You feel me? So yeah, we finna jump in. We finna So any of my pre-internet, early internet days, homies out there, I wonder, do y'all remember hearing anything about this term right here, right? I was in 8th grade, and I used to have a study hall period in school, right? And I want to say it was maybe like an hour and a half long, like slightly over an hour, whatever it was. Man, study hall, and I went to a school back then. Excuse me. Went to a school, all different races, right? All different walks of life in the school, right? Study hall is all kind of different people. We're just beginning to like learn, how to use this new thing called the internet. Then you got different new apps. Some kids will be in there playing video games. But me personally, I spent a lot of time on the early days of YouTube. I remember when YouTube kind of first came out, and the type of things that you would come across, the type of information, and obviously not all of it factual. Some things is satire or whatever. But then again, you come across things from what a lot of people would call trusted sources. Okay, cool. I just wonder how many of y'all remember hearing this term right here, this pink slime, and what that was. So again, back middle school, going into high school, again, I spent a lot of time in study halls in school with other students where it's like, man, we going over somebody will share a video with you and it'll be something related to this, And back then, to show you kind of the difference from today, early, specifically YouTube, it wasn't no fact checkers that you will see like under a post kind of telling you, well, no, actually it's called that because such and such. It was just different people kind of giving their opinion. Somebody will make a video, or again, it would be something from a trusted source here. And you would kind of be allowed to come to your own conclusion. I kind of think the way that I do, just because that was my understanding of kind of the early internet days, was that you were supposed to, use your own experiences, the people in your life and their experiences and conversating with those people, and you kind of build your own conclusion. And if you left a comment or something like that, if people disagree, they may let you know, and they'll come with their own facts, and you can kind of even be on the sidelines of all of that and just read through things and again come to your own conclusion. But it wasn't a whole lot back in the day. It wasn't a whole lot of this paid source, this paid company jumping into a discussion about something like this, telling you, hey man, that's actually not a real thing. That's actually some sort of theory, kind of where I'm at with that type of thing now is anytime I see, again, a paid company, a large conglomerate, jumping into a natural discourse between regular people online. Not always, but I would say more often than not, that leads me to believe when there's a big company jumping in saying, well, actually, it's actually this. It's not what the video is saying it is. It's not what most of the people in this comment section is saying it is. It's actually something else. You spend just a little bit of time doing some research into those companies, and then you find out, well, hey man, that company that's telling you it's actually not what the video is showing you some sort of evidence of, some sort of proof of, because you shouldn't just, blindly believe things. But if you come across enough visual proof, visual evidence, it's like you're supposed to believe this company instead of your own two eyes, right? So I don't know. It's always funny to me when I see, major companies jumping in, and then I do a little bit of research into those companies, and they happen to be financially connected to the company that may have some negative press and evidence of that going on. Even further, you know what I mean? A lot of kind of the opinions that I form in situations like this will be after I read different lawsuits that have gone through, and the disposition is actually that the company was found at fault, and they lose those lawsuits. So I kind of feel like in the society we live in, when I see something like that happening multiple times, I tend to think it's fair to say that, if that company is losing lawsuits about this, it don't matter what company that you hired to tell me, oh no, this isn't true, you're overreacting. I'm gonna come to my own conclusions, because that's the background that I have. So yeah, I remember kind of being a teenager, fam, and still eating at this company, still eating their food, multiple things from them, but hearing about this and kind of thinking to myself, well, man, that's kind of crazy, but you know, I had so many other things going on in life. I never really sat down back then and took the full time to do a deep dive. But I want to show y'all. It says videos from 11 years ago, fam. January 2012. So let's see what they got to say about what this is.
The government is changing nutritional rules for school lunches. Los Angeles is already changing its school menus after a challenge from a famous television chef.
As Bill Whitaker reports, he's also taking on some fast food giants and winning.
Okay, this is not fit for human consumption.
Celebrity chef and food activist Jamie Oliver is a man on a mission to stop the use of what he calls pink slime. Beef scraps no one would choose to eat, reprocessed and repurposed for use in hamburger patties.
We're taking
scraps no one would choose to eat, reprocessed and repurposed. So ultimately, my point behind doing this video, this is the problem with convenience and with fast food. Do you think people back in the day, in the olden days, do you think they were doing a lot of reprocessing and repurposing different food? Do you think there were any, or there are any kind of negative aspects to doing that? I don't know. Let's do a little bit more research.
a product that would be sold at the cheapest form for dogs, and after this process, we can give it to humans.
The first salvo in his high-profile food fight, this stomach-turning demonstration on his TV show, Food Revolution, 9 months ago.
We're going to wash these lean bits of beef in a water and ammonia solution.
Ammonium hydroxide, to be exact, to kill off bacteria. It's all FDA approved.
This is a practice that is openly sort of admitted to being in at least 70% of ground beef products. That kind of puts it everywhere.
Well, not everywhere. Last week, McDonald's announced it's no longer using the controversial beef. In a corporate statement, McDonald's said the decision was not related to any particular event.
So again, I want y'all to just take in that information. It's FDA approved. Fam just pour ammonia on the repurposed meat, on the meat scraps rather, right? Then he told you on national TV, man, this is 70% of the market of the meat that you go and you feed your family, you feed your kids, right? These folks put out a corporate statement and say, hey man, the past is the past. What they saying, Lion King, you gotta put your behind in your pants, right? Which translates to you're supposed to put the past behind you, right? Yeah, we did that. We fed y'all that. We not doing it no more. That's what they said 11 years ago. So here we go with another video, right? And this is kind of just to show y'all a slight difference in the way the internet works now versus kind of how it worked back in the day, right? Or even deeper than that, kind of rather the games that these corporations with millions and millions and millions of dollars, the high level chess that they able to play with people who just living a regular life playing checkers. So my memories of hearing about the whole pink slime stuff, that was what the burgers were made out of at McDonald's, allegedly. I never remember hearing anybody accusing them of using that same slime to make like that's not what the frappes were made out of. That's not what the coffee is made out of, obviously, right? That would be insane. I never, in all my years in using the internet, I never remember hearing anybody making the claim, the allegation that the chicken nuggets were made out of the pink slime. Again, it was always related to the burgers in the same way that the ground beef that you buy in the store is pink, right? So let's see what CNN has to say about pink slime in the chicken
Get
nuggets.
from this to this. Irresistible little asteroids of battered chicken, mysterious in their origin.
Do they just throw a whole chicken in a blender and make a McNugget?
Even more disturbing, the pink elephant in the room.
What are legitimately in McNuggets? Is there pink goop?
This pink goop, a photograph that is snaked around the internet with the caption, "Can you guess what McDonald's food item this is?" It's said to be the entire chicken, eyes, guts, bones, ground up into something called mechanically separated poultry. Not us, says McDonald's, photo hoax, but pink goo won't go away.
Now they said it's a hoax, right? And again, if we look, this is slightly more recent. So more money for these companies in their pockets that they are able to spend on PR and on the internet, fighting back against things that they've been sued over, and different allegations that have been made. This isn't me saying none of this. This is just we just doing some research here. But they said it's a hoax. But didn't they say in this video right here, man, that we used to use it, but now we're not using it no more? And they letting you know right here, again, the allegation was always about the beef. It didn't have nothing to do with the chicken nuggets.
For years, McDonald's has been trying to kill this photo. And now McDonald's of Canada has taken the goo by the horns, directly addressing the question in a Super Bowl commercial seen only in Canada.
What's actually in the nuggets?
Is there any pink goop?
Nope, nada, none. McDonald's wants you to see what's in their McNuggets, so they've released a video tour. Starting with whole chickens, the breast meat is set aside to make
Nobody ever said the pink goop or pink slime, which is the term that was on the internet back in the day. Nobody ever said it was in the chicken nuggets, fam. And I also just want to bring up the fact. So they said they start with whole chickens and they separate it just to the breast meat. What y'all think they do with the rest of the chicken if they not grinding it up and making some sort of slime out of it? You think they just throw out the rest of them chickens? What else is on McDonald's menu that they would use everything but the chicken breast for?
Nuggets.
Just a question.
It into the grinder and adding the ground chicken breast meat to the blender with some seasonings and some chicken skin.
That's pretty much it. Ground up breast meat.
Here's the pink goo image, and here's what we have, so it's very different.
Yeah.
Again, it's different because nobody ever claimed that those were the same two things. So it's just funny that these people spent however much it cost them to make a Super Bowl commercial and try to get you to think, oh, we're upright. We got your best interests at heart. And these people online are just being mean to us, saying mean things, making hoaxes. Y'all made a corporate admission, probably more than just that one. And again, it never had anything to do with this. So I would say, you know, what's going on here in this Super Bowl commercial that was only in Canada, I would say it's deceptive, to say the least. You feel me?
Beige goo. Just kidding. 2 independent food science experts told CNN that McDonald's seems to be giving the straight scoop. Though, of course, there's nothing healthy about all the fat and salt in McNuggets. There is one other secret revealed.
You knew that already.
The 4 Chicken McNugget shapes: the ball, the bell, the boot, and the bow tie.
The ball, the bell, the boot, the bow tie? You see.
And again, so now that's these people playing games, you know. We got one other secret for you, right? We got an actual secret for you, right? The actual secret is this is how we form the shapes of the chicken nuggets. Who asked that, bruh? So this is an article. Again, same trusted news source, right? And this is found in burgers. This junk, this crap found in burgers, right? It's from 2016. Again, I'm kind of just showing this is a short article here, but I'm kind of just showing this so you can see how different companies are intertwined with each other, and how you know, it's alleged that certain companies with enough money, they can be swayed to put out you know, different statistical information and kind of play with numbers to show you things that that may not be the whole truth, let's say. But they are making a pretty big admission in this, just in this one article. So it says, in a newly released hamburger report out by Clear Labs, scientists say human DNA, rat DNA, and other discrepancies were found in some of the burgers they tested. Says Clear Labs tested 258 samples from 79 brands and 22 retailers, from retailers and fast food chains in Northern Cali. The sample was representative of both national brands and brands on the West Coast. So that sounds like they did they due diligence, right? No conflict of interest here, right? Then they go further, using next generation genomic sequencing and other third-party tests. Clear Labs screens for authenticity, major, medium, and minor substitution, contamination, gluten, toxigenic fungi and toxic plants, other allergens, and missing ingredients. I wonder what they mean by this. I wonder what this company considers specifically other allergens. Says we also examine products for nutrition content accuracy, such as calories, carbs, fat, and protein. All of our tests are run through a secondary analysis pipeline and scrubbed for statistical accuracy and errors, said Clear Labs. So we investigated our system and it works because we said so. The system that we put in place is what they're telling you with this sentence right here. Of the 258 sample size, Clear Labs says human DNA was found in only one vegetarian burger. So that must mean veganism is the way to go, right? Just go ahead, keep eating them veggie burgers because they're safe. We only found human DNA in one of those out of 258. So that's no big deal, right? And it says rat DNA was found in a fast food burger, a vegetarian burger, and a ground meat sample. No big deal. Says while unpleasant, it's important to note that it is unlikely that human DNA or rat DNA is harmful to consumer health. I'm going to agree with the unpleasant part, and I'm going to disagree with the rest of this. Me personally, that's my personal opinion. Okay, boom. So this is something else I remember coming across, a while ago. Says man finds human tooth in sausage McMuffin. This article is from 2018. I kind of remember hearing about this slightly before then, but I could be wrong because it's several articles regarding this type of thing, this specific type of thing, right? And again, they even got this ain't me saying nothing, you know what I mean? This isn't plausible deniability. This is somebody took a picture of this, and maybe this guy's lying, but if I'm not mistaken, it was a lawsuit related to this. This article says a man who ate at a McDonald's in central Japan over the summer found an unwelcome ingredient in his sausage McMuffin. A human tooth was found in the man's meal when he visited the restaurant in August. An outside firm was hired to conduct an investigation and confirmed that it was, in fact, a human tooth that was found in the muffin. Now, health officials, whoever that is, no specifics, health officials say it's unlikely the tooth entered the food at the restaurant. Authorities investigated the Japanese firm that made the muffin. They investigated the firm that made the muffin. And the U.S. firm that made the sausage. Okay. But the origin of the tooth couldn't be determined. So it's unlikely, but we couldn't determine it. It's another article from the same year. This from earlier that same year, January 2018, right? Portsmouth, UK, right? So this is a whole different country as well. Quote, it was disgusting. Diner finds, quote, human tooth inside McDonald's chip. So I guess that's the fries. Yeah, a customer found an unexpected addition to her burger and fries during a visit to a chain restaurant. Now, Pete, it says this is the picture. The picture is no longer available for whatever reason. It says Danielle Bailey was left disgusted after finding a tooth, peep the quotes, in her chips on a visit to McDonald's. The 29-year-old said, I had ordered a quarter-pounder meal with chips and a drink, and while eating, I noticed something glistening in the chip I had picked up. So she said she found it in one of the fries, bro. Like not in a box of fries, in one of the fries. Danielle visited the restaurant in Waterlooville with friends. She said, I opened it and at first I thought it was a stone, but then I realized was what looked like the inside of the crown of a tooth. Danielle took the chip to the manager, who told her it would be sent for testing. She said, I thought it was disgusting and the manager did not seem to care and did not offer me a refund or a replacement meal at the time. That's not what I would have asked for, me personally. But again, this was a few years back, so whatever. Says after ringing McDonald's head office the same day, Danielle was told the tooth would be tested and an investigation would take place. Danielle said, I then received 15 euros worth of vouchers, but I had been given no evidence that there was an investigation, and for me, I don't think they have taken it seriously enough. This could be a health and safety risk in their factory, and this could be in someone else's food as well. Well, yeah, that's obvious because we just saw that somewhere else, a whole different country. I just wanted people to know what could be in their food. Now, a spokesperson, so somebody paid by these people, said, because you show me a spokesperson that's speaking on behalf of a large corporation that's not paid by the corporation or by a third party connected to the corporation, allegedly. They said, we were sorry to hear about this customer's experience and launched an investigation as soon as we were made aware. Food safety is of the utmost importance to us, and we place great emphasis on quality control and follow rigorous standards to avoid any imperfections. Having been examined and due to production methods of our fries, we do not believe this to have been a tooth. Oh, word? Word. In response, Danielle said, it does not sound like they have tested it, and for them to say they don't believe it was is not really good enough. I'm gonna agree with that. And you come to your own conclusion. You feel me? Let me know what y'all think in the comments about this type of thing. About these people put out a statement. So you believe them or you believe this lady that went to the news? And apparently there was a picture, but I guess I have to do some more digging to be able to see that. Danielle says, even if it was not a tooth, perhaps a stone, it should not have been in my fries. A human tooth was found in McDonald's Japan fries. So we going back to the same place as the first article, but again, now this is a year earlier. Says McDonald's Japan has apologized after a human tooth. See, this one is in quotation marks. And it says they issued an apology. They've apologized after a human tooth and plastic pieces were found in the chain's food. So this don't even sound like this was all one incident. Says the company said a human tooth was found in a customer's French fry in August, and that another diner found a 1.5-inch strip of vinyl in a chicken McNugget over the weekend. In a third recent case, a child's mouth was injured by a piece of plastic in an ice cream sundae. It's not okay. You feel me? That's a problem. And again, coming from me myself working in food service and warehousing, a lot of these companies, the same money that they spend on putting out these statements in these press conferences, the same amount of money that they spend on Super Bowl advertisements, on their PR, they could spend a portion of that and make sure things like this don't happen. But this is the world we live in, right? It says a child suffered a mouth injury from a piece of plastic. We are deeply sorry for this. McDonald's Japan Senior Vice President, I ain't even gonna attempt to pronounce that, Hidehito Hishinuma said at a press conference Wednesday. The company said it is investigating how the items ended up in his food. To make such cases zero is our goal, said Takahiko Aoki, a senior executive. We are doing our utmost to tackle them one by one. Again, as somebody who spent a gang of money just in my lifetime on McDonald's, that's not enough, bruh. It's like your significant other, right? You done busted them multiple times doing different things. They got hoes on Instagram, they got hoes on Facebook, they got a backup Snapchat that you didn't know nothing about. And they come to you. Matter of fact, they don't come to you directly. They put a statement out, a Facebook post, and they say, to make these instances that you done caught me in zero. That's my goal, babe. I'm working on it, and I'm very sorry. I'm doing my best to stop doing what I've been doing. And I'm gonna work on limiting my conversation with people outside of our relationship one by one on these different platforms. That's how that sound to me personally. Would you keep dealing with that person? Would you keep going back to that person? Why do we keep going back to these same restaurants? He said he's confident that his family can eat McDonald's products despite the incident. The person that works for them. Well, that's good to know. May of last year, May 2023, Scottish Sun. So back in the UK, we made horrifying discovery in McDonald's chicken nuggets. It made my daughter vomit. I'm livid. I feel that, fam. Says a schoolgirl was left vomiting when she discovered what looked like a tooth in her McDonald's chicken nugget. So this is yet again a whole nother product, right? In a completely different country. And this is recent. Says the young girl, 8 years old, was enjoying a treat day with her mom, Liz Henry, when she picked the fast food franchise for tea. Says, but she got an unwelcome addition to her meal at the branch in Kirkintilloch near Glasgow. Says Liz, 43, said, it was a treat day for my daughter. She had earned a reward. So this is a young girl that's doing good and doing what she's supposed to be doing, an 8-year-old. And as a reward for that, all she wanted was this garbage. Which at the same age, I was programmed. I was doing the same thing. I was asking for the same thing. And it's also a double benefit for the mother. It's not like the young girl asked for a tomahawk steak for doing well in school or whatever, you know. She asked for a Happy Meal. Says my daughter noticed a hard bit in her mouth and spat it out. She was physically sick. It looked like a human tooth, and I thought it was, as it was hard and white like one. It discolored to yellow, so then I thought it was maybe a bit of bone, but it looked like a tooth, and so that's what I thought at first. She actually vomited when she saw what she had in her mouth. It was the young girl's first nugget, but her whole meal went to waste after that. Liz said McDonald's offered to replace the meal, but I mean, who wants to eat out of there after finding that? That's how I feel. But again, I would have to take it a step further. This is also funny. I don't know what this is about, but we go. Now again, my early internet babies out there, you feel me? Y'all might remember this one. And I kind of remember first hearing about this one. And, not knowing what to make about it, not knowing what to make of it. And then I remember, later on, more information came out and it turned out that it wasn't necessarily what it seemed. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to throw this in too, just so y'all have an understanding that, me personally, but you as well, we shouldn't just run with every inflammatory topic that we come across. It take a little bit of digging. You need to look at things from both sides. Who's to benefit from the stories being told, that type of thing. Says the Wendy's finger chili scam. A Las Vegas woman told police she found a human finger in her Wendy's chili, but it turned out she planted it there. Says the severed actually came from human appendage, came from her husband. This is NPR typing like this, bro. Human appendage came from her husband, who got it from a coworker after it was lost in an industrial accident. Now, I just want to throw this out there that the story never really made a whole lot of sense to me. I kind of do remember there being like a little short interview or something with the lady, or I vaguely remember this story kind of as it was unfolding over a couple weeks or, a month or so. And I remember thinking to myself, that sound crazy. That sound like something, she deserves some money if if this really happened. But at the same time, you know, more information started coming out, and it didn't really make sense to me, where it's like, you plant this, you falsify this, you don't think it would be easy for them to kind of trace this back and get to the bottom of this pretty quickly? So at least what we can tell, you know, from this story right here, at least, Wendy's sound like they did a thorough investigation. Sound like they wasn't playing. But also, this whole thing came from somewhere else. It was found to have come from outside. Wendy's didn't issue no apology about this. So maybe that had something to do with them actually doing the investigation versus some of the last ones we looked at. Says the New York Times reported that the woman, Anna Ayala, and her husband, Jamie Placencia, were both convicted on felony grand theft charges and sentenced to lengthy prison terms. So both of these people got spanked for what they did. To show you the difference between a citizen and a corporation. They got investigated, they got spanked. Says according to the AP, the hoax and resulting PR incident, because that's what's important here, cost Wendy's 2.5 M's in sales losses. Well, that's a big deal. That's a lot of money for you and me. Again, just showing you this term right here. And I know that this one that we looked at, they were on here calling it goop, pink goop, and they were saying that it's in the chicken nuggets, and this is from, you know, huge source. I kind of feel like this whole thing was some misdirection, so that when you type certain things into different search engines, you don't necessarily get to what you may be looking for. This is what it was always called. And this was always the accusation. For the record. March 8th, 2012.
Now a startling ABC
Let's
News
get it.
investigation. A whistleblower has come forward to tell consumers about the ground beef a lot of us buy at the supermarket. Is it what we think it is, or is it padded with a filler the whistleblower calls pink slime? ABC's senior national correspondent Jim Avila set out to get answers.
Gerald Zernstein grinds his own hamburger these days. Why? Because this former USDA scientist, now whistleblower, knows that 70% of the ground beef we buy at the supermarket contains something he calls pink slime.
My man's was in the belly of the beast.
That were once used only in dog food and cooking oil, now sprayed with ammonia to make them safe to eat, and then added to most ground beef as a cheaper filler. It was Zernstein who, in a USDA...
Whose idea was to start spraying the ground beef in the grocery store and at these different fast food places with ammonia? Because we look at that one first video. Your boy here. Y'all see that, right? You see that, right?
Memo first coined the term pink slime and is now coming forward to say he won't buy it.
It's economic fraud. It's not fresh ground beef. It's a substitute. It's a cheap substitute being added in.
Zernstein and his fellow USDA scientist Carl Custer both warned against using what the industry calls lean, finely textured beef, and is widely known now as pink slime. But their government bosses overruled them.
Why didn't you consider it beef?
Because
a word.
It was a salvage product.
Leftovers.
Fat that had been heated at low temperature and the excess fat spun out.
Here's how it's done. Those waste trimmings are gathered, simmered at low heat to make it easier to separate fat from muscle, put in a centrifuge and spun to
This is
finish the separation. Next, the mixture is
processing,
sent through pipes where it's
repurposing.
sprayed with ammonia gas to kill bacteria, and finally compressed into bricks
Processed
and
meats.
flash frozen for shipment to meat packers and grocery stores, where it's added to most ground beef. And it doesn't have to appear on the label, because over objections of its own scientists, USDA officials with links to the beef industry labeled pink slime meat.
The undersecretary said, it's pink, therefore it's meat.
ABC News has learned the woman who made the decision to okay the mix is former Undersecretary of Agriculture Joanne Smith, a call that led to hundreds of millions of dollars for Beef Products, Inc., the makers of pink slime. When Smith stepped down from USDA, BPI's principal supplier appointed her to the board of directors, where she made at least $1.2 million over 17 years. She did not return our calls for comment.
Do you see the connections between these people and these companies
and the USDA says
and the government?
Legal then. Under current ethics rules, she could not have immediately joined that board. Jim Avila, ABC News, Washington.
That's called a big fat conflict of interest, fam. That's what that is. %70 of it. Inexpensive. So that's why we doing it. And we're not required to let you know what you're eating. A process they refuse to share with the public. After reviewing BPI's submission of a new product and new production process, these dudes, these people, we determined that the product meets the regulatory definition of ground beef under the law and may be labeled accordingly. So we gonna put some cool looking stuff on the label. We're going to have these companies, they're allowed to label the product that they selling to you. And currently in 2024, the price has only gone up on from, well, this is from 4 years ago. But again, we've looked at some videos from 2012. And again, I remember seeing all of this years before that, going back to like 2008. We gonna label the meat grass fed, whatever. We gonna label it 80% lean, whatever. We ain't gonna tell you nothing about this. That's the world you live in, fam. And so fast forward, you feel me? A bunch of these companies had to, at a certain point, had to remove this stuff supposedly, or stop using it, or stop letting us know, what was in there. So let's look at this video from 2019. It's from Tampa Bay. From the news, of course. Trusted source.
All right, hopefully you're not eating right now. Remember pink slime? It can now be marketed as ground beef.
That's right. Pink slime is beef extracts with the fat removed. It's been used since the 90s and was considered a standard filler or additive to ground beef, but now it's legally considered ground beef, according to the USDA. And we talked about this on Facebook Live, and many of you weighed in. Now, Susan, you are saying, I am going to buy my meat from the private butcher shop that I can trust. On the flip side, Trisha, you said, time to ground our own beef and avoid burgers and dining out. And then another coming from Susan, you're saying, I am a vegetarian, so no pink slime for me.
And just to be extremely clear, I contacted the USDA today.
Yes.
They told us they do not use the term pink slime anymore. So.
We still using pink slime. We don't use the term pink slime anymore because people know what pink slime is. Now, definitely for my pre-internet babies out there, but even before my time, I want to do any of y'all remember this movie? Have any of y'all ever seen this movie? Soylent Green. And I just want you to take into account all the different things in movies from back in the day that are adjacent to the time that we live in currently. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the plot of this movie from 1973, the movie is based in the year 2022. And how everything in the world we live in today is green. We going green. Everything is green. Green food, vegetarian meat, all of that, right? Says the plot, by 2022, the cumulative effects of overpopulation. So y'all fault, meaning regular people. The effects of overpopulation, global warming, and pollution have caused ecocide, leading to severe worldwide shortages of food, water, and housing, bringing human civilization to the brink of collapse. This is what they're saying the plot of this movie is, which is mostly true of the plot of this movie. We scroll down a little bit. It says, what is the famous line from Soylent Green? Soylent Green is made out of people. They're making our food out of people. Next thing, they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. 1973, bro. Charlton Heston.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing, they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Promise, Tiger. I promise. I'll tell the exchange.
You tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them. Soylent Green is people. We gotta stop them somehow.
And when you let people know what's going on, they cart you out screaming like a crazy person. You dig? So yeah, man, I had to bring this to y'all, man. I've been trying to, and we'll probably come back and revisit this topic at some point in time. And again, this is trusted news source, CBS News. It's from 2010, fam. 11 revolting things government lets in your food. And you see the picture right here. It says insects and maggots. Canned mushrooms are a good place to find maggots. There are over 20 or more maggots of any size per 100 grams of drained mushrooms, or 5 or more maggots 2 millimeters or longer per 100 grams. Then the FDA will pay attention. Otherwise, eat up. No big deal. Says they let in mold and rot. That's okay to have too. The same people that brought you pink slime, they brought you this. The same people you pay taxes to. Says what says wholesome goodness like an apple, like apple pie, applesauce, or apple butter. But apples get moldy, and the FDA will have something to say to the producer if the average of mold count is 12% or more. So 10%, 11% of mold in the apple product you eating. That's cool. Rodent hair, that's cool. Same article. You feel me? Insect parts. Animal crap. And the cinnamon and the cocoa. Mammalian excreta. Oh man. That's a great euphemism, right? Fruit flies and their maggots. See, me personally, I never even heard of these insects. Says thrips are slender winged insects, also known as thunderflies or thunderblights. Among their favorite foods are asparagus and the hops used to make beer. If too many thrips show up on asparagus, 40 or more per 100 grams, the FDA takes action. Otherwise, enjoy. Insect feces. Says bugs love spices. They feed on spices, poop in spices, and even leave their body parts behind after they die. I'm gonna also add to this tea, the little bags of tea that a lot of people like. The same thing. The FDA allows up to 325 insect fragments per 10 grams of ground thyme to take one example. So spice up that dish. Enjoy. Says this picture is cockroach feces. Man, they even allow sand and grit, dirt. You can buy smooth or chunky peanut butter, but maybe food producers should offer gritty peanut butter too. The FDA allows up to 25 milligrams of grit per 100 grams of that yummy sandwich spread. I'm going to show y'all real quick the most ridiculous one in my opinion. This is a big part of the problem right here. Again, not even going to attempt to pronounce that, fam. Says the FDA says it's okay for fish to contain parasitic cysts like this one, up to a limit. In the case of freshwater herring, the limit is 60 parasitic cysts per 100 fish. More than half. Do y'all see? I hope y'all really see what's happening. You feel me? And again, the point of this show is not necessarily to make anybody mad or upset in particular. I hope y'all can see none of this is really my opinion that I've shared at all just in this episode. This is all just, stuff that's readily available. You can do these same searches. If you happen to disagree, that's cool. And again, I'm perfectly cool with having a conversation down in the comments. And but show me some proof, show me, don't just show me your opinion. As I haven't here either, you know what I mean? Show me some of the things that some of the lawsuits maybe that some of these companies have won when they've been accused of this type of thing. I don't know, it's kind of crazy to me. And again, all of this is coming from somebody who's I've eaten a bunch of this food from a bunch of different places. It's really no way around it. You know what I mean? But I think we all have some choices that we need to make, and it's cool to be properly informed. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't appreciate being misled, being lied to, especially when, you know, at a certain extent, it's like it's being done on purpose. I don't like being gaslit. So with that, man, that's another episode, Plausible Deniability. Be on the lookout. I'm gonna come back with another one probably in the next day or two. You know, probably we'll probably go over something a little bit more comical and less frustrating. You know, because again, this is information me personally I've been sitting on for over a decade at this point. Again, I definitely appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me, been rocking with the show. You feel me? We working on moving on to some other platforms, you know, as well as having some backup channels, that type of thing. If it's anything that y'all want to hear content on, again, hit me up in the comment section. You definitely not gonna hear me doing this a lot, but if you like the content, man, go ahead and throw me a like on the platform that you watching or you listening on. But definitely more than anything else, man, share the content. Even if you disagree, but you think you know somebody that might be able to bring more to the conversation, man, share the content, man. Share this video. Let's get this out to some more people. You feel me? Definitely subscribe if you want to see more. Outside of that, man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the feedback, the support, all of that, man. Shout out to Coach Ash. But yeah, we'll be back on the next one.